Welcome again. And as you know already, we're talking about goal setting and time management. And it all really comes down to what you want. A lot of pressure's put on you, and you got pressure coming from home, pressure coming from school, pressure coming from your friends even. It's coming from everywhere, but sometimes you got to just, say, relax, everybody. I got to do what's best for me. And what that really comes from is setting your own goals and managing your own time. You are the master of your ship, right? So you have to decide what you want, and you have to decide when you're going to do it. All right. I mean, there are some things that we are obligated to do. We have to attend classes on time. We have to attend exams on time. There are some things that we just have to do because that's the social norm. But the reality of it is the rest of that time is yours. And so you have to decide what you want and then decide when you're going to do it. Okay. So by the end of this workshop, you will be able to, set goals and manage your time more efficiently. Okay. Hopefully. So as far as setting goals, the only way to success is to know when you reach it. You don't know that you have achieved any goals unless you actually set them in place and know that you're going to achieve them at this particular point, right? So that's really one of the main things is know where you're going to end up. When you, let's say, I'll give you an example. I'm going to go to the gym. Trust me, I don't go to the gym. But let's say I were to go to the gym. My goal is to get to the gym. When I get to the gym, I know I'm there, right? I have success. It's as simple as that. Setting goals is just as simple. You set something and you know when you reach it, okay?
A lot of people don't follow their dreams because they tell themselves, I can't do it. Nobody will understand.
There's pressures all the time.
There's pressures all
everywhere.
the time. From everywhere.
Maybe they don't like what you're doing. Maybe they think it's corny.
The main fear is
compromising.
You're always close to failing. It's a miracle every year that comes off the vine.
I got off to a rough start. I got knocked out in my first fight.
Sometimes it's difficult. You call your mom in tears crying.
People tried to discourage me. I wanted to quit. You have two choices. You have fear, and you have faith.
The nerves never really go away until you start throwing the first punch.
That energy that you put into it is what people are going to respond to.
This too shall pass. No matter what. There's always things to look forward to.
I would rather scrape by and do something I love. Live a life I'm not proud of. That's boring.
I would rather take the risk because you have some really beautiful experiences along the way.
My big goal is box professional and be great at it.
I want to own a boat because it represents freedom.
I'm gonna run a fierce business and be a fierce dancer.
I'm creating the world I want to live in.
I am most passionate about the fruit on the vine, to be wine in your glass.
Inventing new ways, making art and reaching people.
To me, success is setting a goal, blowing that goal out of the water.
Success is when you're happy with yourself. When you look at your life and you say, it's been good. It's been good. It's been really good. It's been really good.
People will often tell you yes. More than yes. Don't accept the no. Ever.
What was the number one thing that they were talking about? What makes people not reach their goals? They set their goals, but what's the number one thing that prevents them from reaching their goals?
Fear.
Yeah. So what that really comes down to, and where does the fear generally come from? Does the fear come from outside? Are you afraid of something outside, or where does the fear originate?
People afraid of ideas, people around them.
Afraid of the ideas of other people around them? Okay, so, but what do we know about the ideas of other people around us? Do we really know what people are thinking, besides your parents?
They cannot be accepted.
Yeah, but we don't know really what people are thinking, though, right? We never really know what people are really thinking. So ultimately, the fear comes from within ourselves. It doesn't really come from anywhere else. Our fear is fear belongs to us. The same as our goals, our motivations, what inspires us. All those things come from within. They don't come from anywhere else. We cause our own selves to be afraid. So what that tells us is just stop doing it. You have nothing to be afraid of. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, was a famous FDR quote, right? And it's true. There's nothing to be afraid of. Fear is something that we can get rid of. It's like being afraid of the boogeyman. You know, you're afraid of the dark when you're a little kid. You know, eventually you grow out of it. Fear comes from within. So, and the other thing is, if something is important for you, you're going to find a way to do it. There's always a way to do it. You look at all the people who have reached success in their lives, and it was important for them to reach that level of success. And so they found a way to do it. They overcame all kinds of obstacles. However, if it's not important to you, you're going to find an excuse to not do it. So the reality there is set goals that make your life important for you, right? So set your goals and your dreams to something that is really something that you want to do. And if it's important, you're going to do it. If it becomes not important for you, you're going to find an excuse to not do it. In which case, you just change. You know, it's not a big deal. Human beings change all the time, or at least, quite a few people do. So which one is more important, long-term goals or short-term goals? Which one do you think is more important?
I think short-term goals, because they carries us to long terms, and they makes happy when we are doing it on time.
Absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Thank you, Mela. So going for your, little goals, go up one step at a time, set shorter goals. Of course, have your long-term goals. I want to be a doctor of physics. Well, you're not going to be a doctor of physics tomorrow. You have to do some other things first. You have to take a course in this and this and this. You have to achieve this. You have to write this paper. There are many things that you have to do in order to reach that, the top of the stairs. Okay. So give yourself some focus. Short-term goals help us reach our long-term goals. So focus on the short term, but keep the long term in your sights. Okay. Keep your eye on the prize, as they say. I don't know who they are, but without dreams and goals, there is no living, only merely existing. And that is not why we are here. Mark Twain said that, famous American writer. It wasn't his real name, by the way. That was his pen name. Who can tell me what he meant by this? What does this mean?
Actually, I cannot explain it in English, but I will try. I think it says here, if we don't struggle to reach our dreams or reach our goals, we cannot feel that we are living.
That is correct, my friend. Thank you so much. And see, your English is good enough to explain things. Thank you. Here's another video for you.
Goal setting is a powerful tool in increasing productivity. In fact, setting goals can increase your productivity by 11 to 25%. But actually setting and working towards goals can be challenging. So let's get smart about goals. S. Specific. Ask yourself what you want to accomplish. And most importantly, why? M. Make it measurable. Are you able to tell when you've reached your goal? A. Attainable. Goals should stretch you so you feel excited, but within your current ability. R. Relevant. Set goals that are going to positively impact your life. Does this goal fit in with your other life's goals and dreams? T. Time-based. A goal with a time deadline will create a sense of urgency and give you the energy you need to complete it. Finally, once you achieve your goal, it's time to celebrate and set the next goal.
So again, when we're trying to set our goals, or when we are setting our goals, because it isn't about trying to set our goals at this point, we have to set our own goals. Because remember, your life is your life. So take control of your life by setting your own goals. In order to do that effectively, we should use the SMART model. What that means is make your goal specific, make it measurable, make it attainable, make it relevant, or another term I like to use is realistic. Sometimes if it's not, I want to be an Olympic swimmer. Well, that's not realistic for me. Maybe you, but for me, it's just not going to happen. And timely. Set a time limit. I want to lose 10 kilos within 2 months, as an example. And then you have that goal. It's specific. I can measure it. I can attain it. It is relevant to me because by losing 10 kilos within 2 months, I'm going to be healthier. And 2 months is my timeline. So it's as easy as that. It doesn't have to be some kind of, crazy, some kind of crazy goal. Just something really small, and something that you can do. That's where it begins. If you can achieve these small goals, you then get in the habit of establishing and maintaining and, repeating goals, repeating the setting of your goals, and then you achieve much more. Okay, and you feel better about yourself. So questions to ask yourself when you're setting your goals is, number one, what exactly do I want to get better at? And maybe it's not always something about getting better. Maybe it's something new. You want to try something new, or just anything, right? What exactly do you want to do? Okay, because that's where the specific thing is going to come from. What exactly do I want to do, right? And then the next thing is, how much better do I want to get at it? Or at what level do I want to achieve this new thing? Or, what kind of measurement can I set for this? So how much, right? How much better do I want to get? And then how much can I improve? If I say, using myself as an example, if I say I want to lose 30 kilos in a month, that's absolutely impossible. But how much can I improve? Set a realistic and attainable goal. How much can I do it? And then how does my goal pertain to my life? What is the real benefit of it? For me, by being able to lose weight, the real benefit is that I'll be healthier, right? For you, getting let's use the IELTS as an example. Getting a 6.5 on my IELTS will allow me to do, move into my faculty or something. Of course, I don't recommend the IELTS route. I recommend that you stick with us and just pass the course, but I think you get more benefit that way. And then what timeline can I set for myself that is challenging yet realistic? By what time do I want to do something? So we use actionable verbs when we write our goals. If you cannot perform a measurement based on the words you use, then how will you know if you're reaching your goals? You can go to this website. There's a website called lifehack.org. And here's like 20 personal SMART goals, examples to improve your life. Remember that when you're writing the goals, you can follow the guidelines that they provide, and use actionable words such as walk, improve listening skills, improve presentations, etc. There's a lot of different things that you can use here that will help you set some goals if you have difficulty setting goals at this point. But just remember, right now we're mainly concerned with goals pertaining to university life. when you get into your work life, things are going to change. Obviously, we as human beings, we evolve within ourselves and in our societies constantly. So, just always be ready to, keep setting goals. One example is maybe walk 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. What am I going to do? I'm going to walk. How long am I going to do it, or how much better? 30 minutes a day, and then 5 days a week. This is something I can do. It's obtainable, and it makes a real benefit for my life. And then I didn't put an ending time here because I want to do it for the rest of my life, perhaps. That isn't a timeline specific goal, but I could say 5 days a week for the next 3 months if I wanted to. And then I can extend my goal past that if I want to. That's an example of a perpetual goal. It isn't something that once you achieve it, it's over. You can continue it. Okay, so there are actually two kinds of goals. There are the immediate reachable goals, and then the perpetual ones, the ones that you want to keep doing for as long as possible. Okay, especially when it comes to healthcare. When it comes to setting goals, you make a plan for achieving your goals. If the plan doesn't work, well, you got to change the plan, not the goal. Anyone watch, football? If you watch football, you'll see that the goalpost doesn't move. Only the way that the players reach that goalpost changes. So keep your eye on the prize. Again, like I said, make sure that you can achieve the goal and change your plan. If something isn't working out, where maybe you have to change the times that you do different things throughout your day, if you need to change that, then that's what you change. But you still want to be able to reach your goal. Okay. So, and that's where time management comes in, when we'll talk about time management. Okay, when I was a child, I spoke like a child, acted like a child, behaved like a child because someone else took care of the adult stuff. When I became an adult, I had to put childish things behind me and take care of myself. Well, some people still have their parents taking care of them, but some parents will never let us go. But that's the reality is the majority of the world goes into this phase where we go from, being the child in the house to then becoming our own adult. Okay. This quote actually was based on another quote that I had read, but it wasn't good enough for me, so I made it to suit our situation. If you don't manage your time well, you will have an extremely difficult time achieving your goals. So where does that begin? Well, it begins with our habits. We get into the habit of, when we wake up, we take a shower, we have breakfast, we brush our teeth, we attend class. I mean, this becomes a habit. It's something that we do, on a regular, everyday basis. Before we go to bed at night, we brush our teeth. I'm using the brushing our teeth thing because I can't really think of many other things. If you have a dog, you're in the habit of walking your dog. Maybe because your dog makes you, but still, it's a habit. There are other habits. There are good habits. There are bad habits. Smoking, as an example, is a bad habit. Hanging out with our friends on Saturday afternoons could be considered a habit if you do this regularly. Yes, it is part of your routine, but it's also a lifestyle habit. Okay, so it all begins with our habits. Habits can change. Habits, usually we become addicted to certain things, right? That's what makes it a habit, is a kind of addiction, right? But we can change these. We can change our addictions. It's been proven time and time again that our habits are malleable. We can reform them, okay? So manage your time according to your habits, or change your habits to conform to the time you have. We have an equilateral triangle, right? 3 equal sides. How many hours are in one day? Come on, easy question. How many?
24.
Very good. With that, we have 8 hours here, 8 hours here, and 8 hours here. The wonderful thing about 24 hours is that we can equally divide it into 3 equal sections of 8 hours. So what do we do with this time? Well, First of all, it starts with sleep. We go to sleep at night, we wake up in the morning, unless you work the night shift. So it begins with sleep. Never forget about sleep. Sleep is very important. And I know many of you are going to appreciate me telling you this. So never forget that you have to sleep. And then we have work. Oh my God, why? Yes, work has to play a big factor in this, because if we don't work, we can't achieve anything. The way of the world is that everyone has to work. And then we have 8 hours dedicated to personal time. Now, personal time may go a little bit into sleep and may go a little bit into work. But the reality is it has been scientifically proven that you need 8 hours of sleep. So dedicate on your schedule 8 hours to sleep, right? We have 8 hours to work. Tire yourself out enough to where you can sleep those 8 hours. And then with the personal time, what does the personal time do? Well, let's take a closer look. What do each of these mean to you? So with sleep, what does sleep mean to you exactly? It's pretty simple. What does sleep mean?
Just resting.
Okay, does it mean just resting? Does it mean just, watching TV? You're resting when you're watching TV, right?
A basic need.
It is a basic need. And when we talk about needs, we talk about that you have to do it. Sleep means sleep. Sleep doesn't mean, sitting on the couch playing video games. Okay, it's not what that means. Sleep means sleep. So make no mistake, when it comes to setting in your schedule that you need to sleep during this time period, that's when you got to sleep. Okay. The other thing is work. What does work mean? We look at it from a university student point of view. What does work mean to you? Does it mean going to your job down at the local Migros?
Make an effort to reach your goal.
Okay, it means to make an effort to reach a goal. What are those goals based on right now?
For example, studying the sheets to pass the exam.
Okay, very good. So it includes studying, right? However, something that many of you may be missing is that it also means that you have to go to class, right? This is your class time. So let's say you have class from 8:30 till 11:20, or 8:30 to 11:20, for example. That's your work time. You're working. You're working at being a student, right? Later in life, after you graduate from university, God willing, your work schedule will then be 8:30 till 5:30 p.m. at your job, right? But right now, because of university, work means time spent in classes and studying. So we need to make sure we put that into our time management schedules. And then what does personal mean? What does personal mean to you?
For example, hanging on with your friends.
Any time with your friends? Very good. Anything else?
Read a book maybe.
Or read a book. It's personal time. It's pretty much anything. It's your time. There are certain things that you have to do. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. We have to sleep. There have been people who tried not to sleep, and they were crazy at the end of the day. But you have to do it, and then you have to work. It's just life. We have to work. We have to go to classes, and we have to study for those classes. And then the rest of that time, look at how much time you have. You have 8 hours every day to do things for yourself. We never realize how much time we have. And right now in the pre-faculty, I know how much time you have. I know you can get all your work done in 8 hours. So I know for a fact that you have 8 hours every day that you can dedicate solely to yourself. It's just, I know, right? If I didn't know that, I wouldn't be so adamant about it. So what are the best times to do each of these? What's the best time to sleep?
Maybe six hours.
My friend, I have 8 hours right here. 8 hours. You got to sleep for 8 hours. When's the best time to do that?
Maybe between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Very good. It's a perfect time. Now, does that mean I have to go to bed? Do I fall asleep right at 11 o'clock p.m.? No, probably not, but at least I'm laying down in my bed or someplace comfortable, and at least I'm clearing my mind, going in that meditative state, pretending I'm sleeping so that I can fall asleep. Isn't that weird how we have to pretend to be sleeping in order to sleep? Have you ever thought about that? But anyway, so we fall asleep, right? Eventually. So those 8 hours, lay in your bed. And when I think Aydin, you said maybe 6 hours. Yeah, maybe some people, they'll stay awake for a couple of hours just thinking about stuff. If you are that kind of person, try to do some meditation or some other things to help yourself relax before you go to sleep at night. Another thing you could do is to not look at a screen, a phone screen or an iPad screen. TV screens are different, but little device screens, don't look at them for about an hour before you go to bed at night, because they really affect your brain waves and make your brain waves really active. That's why we're addicted to these devices, because of the brain waves activity that's generated from the blue screen, right? Or change the settings on your screens so they don't have that blue. And then what about for the work, the 8 hours we have to dedicate for work? When's the best time to do that? Half of it is already done for you, right? Yeah, I see some head shaking, so I'm hoping that means agreement. Well, we have our schedules. We have our schedules that we have to follow that the university gives us. So that part is already prepared for us. The rest of it is according to you. When is the best time that you can study? Can you study best right after class? Well, if so, then dedicate your time right after class to studying and following up. If you are more of an evening type study person, well, schedule your study time at that point and schedule your personal time right after classes. Change it according to your needs and desires. Because remember, it's all about you, really, when it comes down to it. And then for the personal stuff, you fit that in where these other things are already filled up. So we have to prioritize. First, I'm telling you, prioritize your sleep. Make that your number one thing on your time, on your schedule. I'm going to sleep from this time to this time. Then what do? Well, I have to work or study, attend classes at these times. So these things are already done. So then what do I have left? All the rest of that stuff can be filled in with my personal work, what I have to do in order to pass my classes, and then my personal time, the time I'm going to spend with my friends or play games or look into something else that makes me happy, right? So then, and you can do it, trust me. People are doing it all the time. So how do we write our schedule, or how do we prepare our schedule? First of all, in order to visualize what we're going to do, in order to visualize the achievement of our goals, we should write our schedules down. And I'm not saying to have some kind of big Excel, sheet or something like this. Make it simple. Make it something that you can, tack up onto the refrigerator. This is what I'm doing in the morning. This is what I'm doing in the afternoon. It's as easy as that. Don't make it complicated. In the afternoon, that at let's say 11 p.m., I'm sleeping. If you're an early sleeper, let's say you want to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't know many of you are like that, but if you are, don't be shy about it. Just schedule a little bit differently. Maybe you want to do something in the morning, that personal time. If you get up at like 6 or 7, and you want to do something before class starts, at least you're physically, mentally prepared for when your classes begin. So again, it's all up to you, but I'm telling you the best way to do it is to make sure you write it down, write it in a notebook, write it in one of those planners, and then you can achieve your goals. And you won't forget stuff either. I know so many people forget so many things. Okay, my friends, do we have any questions? Do you have any questions at all? Was it beneficial, do you think?
Yes, teacher, thank you very much.
Okay, well, For those of you who are in my classes, I will see you in my classes. For those who are not, I hope to see you eventually any place in the world. Thank you so much for attending. Take care of yourself.